Hello children, welcome to the YouTube channel of Welkin National School, Vasai East. This is Mrs. Mamata Biju, your subject teacher of SST. Today I'll be teaching for standard 7th, that is Civics, chapter number 5, Fundamental Rights, part 2. In the last chapter, we have studied some fundamental rights guaranteed by the Indian Constitution. We studied the rights of liberty, equality, and the right against exploitation. In this chapter, we shall also learn about the rights to freedom of religion, cultural, and educational rights, and we shall get acquainted with the judicial protection available for the fundamental rights. Now, in this paragraph, they have explained that as we all have studied in the earlier chapter about the fundamental rights by the Indian Constitution, it studied about the rights against exploitation, liberty, equality, etc. Now, in this chapter, we will learn about the rights to the freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights. Right to the freedom of religion. India, we know, is an important secular country in the world. We have studied it in the previous classes, but you must be curious to know what the Indian Constitution says about it. Isn't it? It is included in our rights to the freedom of religion. According to it, each Indian citizen is free to practice any religion and to establish institution for religious reason. In order to broaden the scope of the rights to freedom of religion, two things are not permitted. Not permitted means not given the permission. One is state cannot impose religious taxes that might be used to encourage a particular religion. That is, our constitution forbids religious taxes. Second, religious education cannot be made compulsory in educational institutions that receive aid from the state. Now, over here in this paragraph, they have explained that as India is an important secular country in the world, and Indian Constitution says that every Indian citizen is free to practice any religion, to establish institution for religious reason. To broaden the scope of rights to freedom, two things are not given the permission. That means permit. One is that state cannot impose. State cannot put any taxes on religion which is against the law. Second is the religious education cannot be made compulsory. Cultural and educational rights. We can see that there is a great diversity of festival, food and ways of life in our country. You may have noticed the differences in the different wedding ceremonies that you attended. All these things are a part of the cultures of the different communities. Our constitution has given the different ceremonies that you attended. All these things are a part of the cultures of the different communities. Our constitution has given the different communities the right to preserve their cultural uniqueness. According to this right, people are not only free to preserve their own language, script, and literature, but also make efforts towards their promotion. They can establish institutions for the development of their language. Now over here they have explained in this paragraph that now As we all know, our country is very diverse, which includes festival food. You must have seen different wedding and different ceremonies whenever you attend. So it's a part of every culture where the constitution has given right to preserve its cultural uniqueness, and also it has allowed us and made of effort to promote, and we can establish institution for the development of their languages. Rights to the constitutional remedies. In case of encroachment of fundamental rights, the Indian citizen right to get judicial remedies is also a fundamental rights. This is called the right to constitutional remedies. This means the constitution itself has provided for legal remedies in case people's right get violated. So it becomes a constitutional duty of the court to protect the right of the people. Sometimes the rights that are guaranteed to us by the constitution may get encroached upon and we are not able to exercise our rights. This is called an infringement of our rights. The court considers our complaint, investigates it, and in case it is convinced that rights have indeed become infringed upon and injustice has been done to the aggrieved individual, the court gives an appropriate verdict. Now over here what they have explained, that it means the Indian citizen get the judicial remedy and is a fundamental right, which is called a right to constitutional remedies. It means the constitution has given the measure in case the people's right get violated, then court protect rights of the people. The rights which are guaranteed by the constitution are not able to exercise the rights, so the court investigates and give it back. Rights as a constitutional remedies. Court has the power to issue various kinds of the rights to protect the rights of the freedom. Now one by one they have given the points. The points name is the habeas corpus, that means protection from the unlawful arrest and detention. Then mandamus means the order of the court, that is Supreme Court or the High Court, commanding to the government to perform an action that its duty to perform in public interest. Then prohibition means completely dead, to protect and subordinate court from exceeding its jurisdiction. Then quo warranto means to restrain a person from acting in an office to which he is entitled. Then certiorari, to order the removal of a lawsuit from a subordinate court to a superior court. Now they have given this court picture inside the court. Because the fundamental rights are thus protected by the court, citizens are able to exercise their rights. They can fulfill their roles as alert, responsible, and active citizen. While considering fundamental rights, we also need to remember our duties. In the next chapter, we shall study our fundamental duties. Now, they have explained that the fundamental rights, these are the protected by the court, and the citizen can exercise their rights. So they can fulfill their roles and they give the alert and responsible active citizen. So this was all about the fundamental rights and the duties. So students, we have completed this chapter. Hope you all have understood this chapter. Bye students, take care and have a nice day.